Welcome to Tough Crowd. You know how almost half of radio is owned by either Viacom or the Clear Channel? Well, now the FCC is trying to do the same thing with all the other media. Now, some people say this is bad, but it's good, because you'll only have one person to blame. You'll know who it is, either Rupert Murdoch or Ted Turner. You'll know which products to boycott. We can openly divide ourselves like the Shiites and the Sunni Muslims. You know, media is our religion anyway. TV is. So you can be the O'Reillys or the Michael Moores, you know. We could all worship different stations. Instead of rioting during Ramadan, we start trouble during Sweeps Week. Because right now we're divided anyway. Look, there's newspapers, TV stations, magazines for everybody. Ebony and Essence, only black. Latinos have Latina for the women. Those porno comics for the guys. The Asians have Computer World. You know, we've never been more segregated. Do you realize that? We make 1960s Birmingham bus station look like the MTV Beach House. I just want to say I really am a great comedian. All right, look. So the biggest argument against this FCC ruling is lack of diversity in the media. Nick, do you agree or disagree?
I mean, can we stop with this lack of diversity? First of all, I'm conservative. All I have is Fox News and the Post. Everything else is liberal horse. Pardon my French. Am I not right?
People act like it's the
And I mean, are people still going to television for their information? I mean, unless you're a redneck, you know, watching Jerry Springer every morning to find out how you can get in your first cousin's pants. I mean, go to the library.
You know this is a bad issue when you've got Ted Turner and the NRA are against the rule changes. I mean, you're living in your own circle of hell when those two people are against you. I mean, those are groups of people that are sort of evil incarnate, and they're against these rule changes the FCC just made. So, I mean, I think that says a lot.
You think it says it's good? Or
I think it says it's bad.
Well, so it's so bad that even they're against it.
Yeah, apparently it's not funny what I said, but apparently...
Well, it's very, you know, it had a lot of levels to it.
It's kind of... This is kind of a dry topic, to be honest.
This topic is dry?
No,
I don't really care about this at all.
Well, Australia, you know, they raised the price on fruit. Maybe we could kick that around for a few minutes. This is...
No, but I'm more worried about the employees. They're the ones who get in trouble.
That's right.
Because of the fact, like I remember like 87, 88 or whatever, I worked for a radio station and I got fired. But I didn't give a damn because I could go to the next R&B station. You know, because I knew I had another job that I can go to, another radio station to go to, I cursed everybody else. Like, hey, kiss my ass.
Right.
Kiss my ass. Now in 2003, you can't do that. Because you say, look, I'll go to another station. And God, no, I own that other station. So, you know, you end up...
Yeah, you're on their computer file.
We just had a breakthrough. A black guy talked about getting fired and didn't blame it on white people. That's the...
Well, we didn't ask him.
I didn't get to that yet. Let me get to that.
Okay. He's assuming the guy that owned all the R&B. Louis, dry topic to you too? You son of a bitch.
A little bit. I don't really care.
Well, screw it. You're a filmmaker. Go ahead, Keith.
No, I mean, you know, let's talk about something else.
We are going to talk.
No, let's... Oh, relax.
I'm relaxed. I come on the show. The show starts. Everybody's busting my balls. Shut up. Relax. I'm sitting on the damn show. Everybody starts insulting the topic. The first one out of the box. I just shaved. I'm all clean, excited.
The problem with the media, it's controlled by cultural Marxists who are hell-bent on destroying this white patriarchal society that we have going.
What the hell are you talking about?
You sons of bitches! You heard me!
And they're clapping!
What the hell am I... What the hell am I talking about? All the sailors right with me.
Yeah.
Every commercial, the black guy's a genius, the whitey's a dope, the woman's strong, the guy's weak. I'm sick of it! I've had enough!
Nick D is back.
What are you watching?
He's back from vacation.
What channel? I'm not watching BT, bitch!
Listen.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Okay, you know, he's just... This is
wait.
I'll be fine for that.
Exactly
I thought this topic was boring.
I love it. You shut up.
Juicy Fruit Lips?
Yes. Thanks for repeating it, jackass. They didn't hear it.
Is that like a prison nickname?
A black guy making fun of a white guy's lips. Come on.
Exactly. But here's what I'm saying. This is why the white man is finished. Because of that.
It's still finished.
You are finished because you bitch too much. Every little thing you bitch about.
Wait a minute.
The white
You
guy
got one Puerto Rican girl applauding. I like people of color. I like
There you go.
Make me sick.
You're a person of stupid.
Hey, relax.
I don't care what you say.
People are so angry, aren't
It's
they?
possible, whether it's fair or not, the fact is being white is awesome. It's so great.
It's not.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on now.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. Whiteness. We're somebody black.
Look at us right here.
That's what I'm saying. Look.
Hey, look.
Look, let me just make my case. There's 4 or 5 comedians on the show. There's only one black guy. See, we get benefit of the doubt. Nobody bought. The cops are polite to me. It's just really great. I mean, I'm sorry that it's so great. Damn. I think it's wrong that it's so great, but the fact is, man, it's awesome, dude.
Let me say this. We may be finished.
You are
But
finished.
why don't you admit one thing? For 300 years, you let 12 Dutch guys in shorts push your whole continent around.
We thought they were ghosts.
He said we thought they were ghosts. 3 companies that manufacture devices and software to filter out scenes of sex and violence from DVDs are under attack from the DGA, the movie studios and directors, for copyright infringement, whatever. So what do you think about this? Louis, you're a filmmaker.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like all that parental control and that kind of thing. People are always trying to protect their kids from stuff that's supposed to be adult. And I think it's a shame because watching things you're not supposed to be watching is part of growing up, you know? Like, that's how you learn things. When I was 9, Saturday Night Fever came out, and my friend's mother took us to see it. So I'm in the theater watching John Travolta have sex with his girl in the back of a car, and I go to my friend's mother, what are they doing? And so she gave me a hand job. And so that was, here's the thing. If I had, if it weren't for that movie and my scene, I would have had to wait till I was 12 to get a hand job.
In fairness, when you brought up Saturday Night Fever, because I was 17 living in Brooklyn,
yeah.
The Saturday Night Fever in the 2 years afterwards, nothing was more aggravating than your people walking around swaggering like they own the damn world. Oh, they really annoyed me.
They still wear the same hairdo from Saturday Night Fever.
They do.
Oh, yeah, and you're right. What are you supposed to... We changed.
Oh, boy.
Black people make everything better.
Look at you.
When you go to stores, you order boots. We made them Timberlands, Jack. I
used to wear Timberlands.
I was wearing Timberlands in high school, a-hole.
So they weren't called Timberlands then.
That kind of language is uncalled for, guys. Let me tell you something. The bottom line is they do damage movies because I saw this hilarious movie in the 70s called The In-Laws.
Yeah.
Then they must have re-edited it. I saw it in the movie theater a couple of weeks ago. It stunk. It was humorless.
Well, look at how they market
All the humor was gone.
Yeah, but you know, for years, Blockbuster Video has edited movies.
That's true too, right? Exactly.
Like the Bad Lieutenant when he's like masturbating while the girl's in the car doing the thing with her mouth. I rented it from Blockbuster and sped to that scene and it was gone. I called Blockbuster. I'm like, I got an erection and the scene's not there.
We have to talk. We have to talk because you people are always leaving the commercials and I'm sitting here watching with these people. So we'll be right back. Okay. First of all, do you believe these bastards critique the topics like they know what they're talking about? Oh, that's a dry topic. And look, they had a hell of a time. I think we can all learn a nice lesson from that, right, folks? There's a current rap battle involving Russell Simmons, P. Diddy, Jay-Z to eliminate New York's Rockefeller drug laws, which mandate 15-year life sentences for many low-level crimes. So the rappers are trying to gather what the paper called urban hip-hop fans. We all know what that means. And, well, let's face it, you don't think that George Pataki's effect that we see 300 homeboys hanging out like 19 years old, he's going to be like, I'm glad you people are learning to speak your voice and use the media so I don't get stitched across my Brooks Brothers suit by the Master Ace Homicide crew. I don't know. Now you're going to have the governor and the mayor at a corporate mixer with Russell Simmons and Irv Gotti trading business cards. It's like, oh, Murder Inc. Interesting. You guys listed on the New York Stock Exchange or? No, the 10 most wanted list. Okay, that's fine. Let me ask you something. Paul, what do you think about these Rockefeller laws?
Harsh. I mean, think about it. Mm-hmm. Minimum sentence, first time out, 15 years to life. First time offenders, 15 years to life.
For what?
For drug offense, 2 ounces or more.
Selling or using it?
Selling or using. And
of coke? Sounds fair to me.
Coke. First-time rapist offense, 3 years. What kind of a message does that send society? It says, hey, kids, if you're going to rape, don't do drugs.
And plus, with all the crooked cops that plan.
Here we go.
Let me do what I do.
Here we go.
That crooked ass cop. Man, let me say this. Cops have been so crooked.
Up your nose.
Wait, let him speak.
Cops have been so crooked in America that there's nothing too far-fetched that you can accuse them of. People don't believe anything you say about them. Cops took me in a space shuttle, flew me to the moon, and put cheese up my ass.
They did? Oh my
Those
God.
son of a bitches.
That's awful.
Was it good cheese?
They've been...
You guys go on the space shuttle? That's great. What are you complaining about?
I didn't think there were blacks on the space shuttle.
I think we're really moving forward as a country when we're letting the hip-hop community decide the drug laws. They'll be like, hey, shut up.
Wait.
You know, what's next? We're going to let your people decide what the legal alcohol limit is for driving and drinking? I mean,
One intent of the law
Yeah.
was back in the 70s
Right.
to eliminate drug trafficking on the streets of New York.
Right.
Has it worked? Look at the intent of the law. No, it hasn't worked.
how do you know all this? Are you married to a Dominican?
You can. It hasn't worked. I can go outside the studio right now, and in 15 minutes score a bag. And the only reason it takes 15 minutes is there's a line. I mean, come on.
All right, look, how about this subject? What, do you want to say something else?
No, go ahead, man.
All right. AOL is launching a website aimed directly at blacks, the fastest growing online audience. No, it's true. They have their own website, and I know because I went on it accidentally. I'm serious. I went on accidentally.
True.
It was, first of all, my Windows 98 were tinted. Now, I'm not making that up. It sounds like a joke. Damn it. And I knew it was a black online because my instant message took 2 minutes. It was 2 minutes late. So go ahead. Pete, what do you think?
Let me say this, man. When you talk about when people, they get on like, hey, stuff is being geared for black people. Stuff has always been geared for white people. Who do you think Friends is geared for? You know what I mean? The Mexican population that's growing is geared for you folks.
Can I point out a reason why we make up 68% of the country?
Okay, so why are you bitching when something happens when people gear stuff towards black people?
Who's bitching?
You all the time.
Wait.
And you go like, okay, we have FUBU. Hey, black, you got FUBU. What do we have as white people? You got Dockers. That's what you have.
A damn good pants.
Growing up,
A fine pair of pants. Louis, go ahead.
growing up black in America is different than growing up white. It's just different, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, I can say that.
so if you're black, you're different than some white people sometimes.
But,
Occasionally.
go ahead.
It's not as awesome.
Somebody who markets stuff says, hey, I bet that if we make this more like these people would like it, we'll make money. They're just making money.
Right.
Who cares?
Well, because
money.
The whole thing is to carve it up.
That's the whole thing. But let's
They're
face
going to carve it up with
Sinister.
Asians.
That's a very innocent.
Yeah, but you know it backfires because aren't you insulted when something's geared right to you? It's like it's targeted to you. Like,
No,
hey,
I'm
black
not.
guy, there's a gold tooth. You're definitely gonna buy it. I mean, don't you just want to watch stuff that's good because it's good? You don't want to see that. Hey, I'm supposed to go to the black one.
And you know, you're going to get hit.
No.
You're going to get hit. Can I just say this?
Go ahead.
They're going to get hit with.
Don't say it.
They're going to get hit with major spam. All these penis reduction ads you guys are going to be seeing. They love spam. They love spam and government cheese. It was the opposite.
Now listen to me. This country's schizophrenic because everybody's like, oh, we should be unified. Then segregate. Everybody goes, hey, wait a minute. People should allow their own culture.
Right.
This country's phony. Celebrate diversity. Just don't point out anyone's different.
Right.
I know I've said it a few times. It's getting a little played out, but you have to admit it's a damn good point.
Excellent.
Everybody's damned if they do and damned if they don't, and I can't take it anymore. I'm going to eat one of those chocolate things. As MacArthur said in the Philippines, we'll be right back. Oh, folks, when I was a small child, we used to go to Coney Island a lot, and there was this guy at the booth who could tell everything about you by, like, gently putting his hand on your forehead. And, well, that's another story. And years of therapy later, and a couple of appearances on Ricky Lake, I feel a lot better. But there was another man that would predict the future. Prognostication is a lost art, and I'm bringing it back. We went out and asked some people some telling questions like, how many fights you've been in, what's the personality trait that people criticize you the most for. So we're going to look into their souls. I'm going to predict it, and then we're going to, try to figure out how close I get. Let's look at the first one.
How many fights have I been in?
Oh, now you can tell he's got some kind of like accent from like 6 different countries in England. And you can see he's like kind of a big psychopath. You know, he's got the broken nose there. He's got the little soul patch there. He's got the... Plus, you know, always tell a psychopath by any guy that wears an Izod shirt and thinks, hey, I'm like a yuppie. You're a maniac. He looks like one of those English head-button Guy Ritchie bar fighter types. I'm going to say 47.
I've been in 10 fights.
You're lying, bastard! Next.
The personality trait that people most criticize me for?
Oh. Stalking Molly Ringwald in 16 Candles? I don't know. Answer?
I scream like a little girl when I'm tickled.
If he's not setting himself up in New York, how long before you see him walking through Chelsea in a pair of Daisy Dukes, right, folks? No, I'm kidding. Okay, next, I'm sorry.
Personality trait that most people criticize me the most for is...
That I have a 1950s personality in 2003. Well, you try to follow that Daisy Dukes reference. Go ahead, answer.
A little high-strung.
Yeah. Seems like they really have to call out the SWAT team when you and the fellas get together over the backgammon set with a couple of light beers. Now listen. All right, who's next?
Personality trait that people criticize me most for is...
Telling white girls I'm Method Man. Answer.
Smoking too much goddamn weed, yo.
I apologize, it was Method Man. My fault. Next.
The personality trait that people criticize me most for?
Is your double message with the cross and the breast so close together. It's like every time somebody looks at that little bra showing, then you feel guilty because you see our Lord and Savior. Answer.
Probably being too flirtatious.
Next. Oh my God.
The incident that most influenced my life was...
The incident that most influenced... I know, there's so many. You're like, hey, Carl, you guys are like, let me do that one. All right. I got raped by an abstract expressionist on the West Bank. Answer.
My drug smuggling trip to Bogota, Colombia when I was 18 years old.
Oh, next.
How many fights have I been in?
And, you know, how many fights have you been in? There's a guy in the audience, you know, rarely, they said that before he came in tonight, they go, the guy came. The guy who we shot in the footage, he's right up front. So how many fights have you been in? I'm going to say maybe in high school, a couple of scuffles when the kids would tease you and say you looked like Natalie Merchant. There he is right here, folks. Oh, the Academy boys, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. All right. You know what, folks? We can't change our lives, but we can change our movies thanks to new technology. You can cut, delete, shape, destroy everyone's artistic visions from Kurosawa to Ron Jeremy. If you could cut or delete one scene from a movie, what would it be? And why? Louis C.K.?
I would have changed the ending to John Q, the Denzel Washington movie, you know, where he gets a gun, he takes hostages in the hospital, threatens to kill himself. He's on national news, there's a SWAT team, they try to kill him. Finally, they give his son a new heart. He goes through all that to save his life. Then 2 months later, his son tells him, Dad, I'm gay, and then he shoots him.
All right, Keith Robinson. All right, well, here we go. Keeping it racial, I would delete the love scene between Holly Berry and Billy Bob Thornton. I don't want that old, white, wrinkly ass pumping up on down on my Nubian queen. Yeah. How the hell would you feel, white people, if we had Reese Witherspoon getting teabagged by James Earl Jones?
Nick DiPaolo.
I got to follow a teabag. All right.
I would change the very last scene in Rocky. He'd still go the distance with Creed, but he'd collapse in the ring at the end of the fight and be rushed to the hospital. There he would lapse into a coma and be put on a respirator for a couple weeks and eventually die. Here's where the twist comes in. After getting the autopsy report back, Mickey and Adrian learned Rocky didn't die from his injuries suffered in the fight. His death was caused by salmonella from drinking those raw eggs. This ending is perfect because Rocky isn't killed by his foe, so he saves some face, but he does die, so we spared sitting through those 4 atrocious sequels.
Paul Mecurio!
In Ingmar Bergman's emotionally charged Cries and Whispers, there's a long dream sequence involving the beautiful Liv Ullmann, which conflicts with the existential message that the film is designed to impart about the quality of modern man forced to live in a godless universe. I'd get rid of all that and add a rapping kangaroo.
All right, that's the show. Please throw away any deleted scenes in the trash on your way out. Good night.